Okay, good afternoon, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, where we help traders learn more about the markets, make better trades, and be successful. I'll come back to that movie tune at the end of the video and see if you can guess what major Western movie that is from. All right, let's start out with the Dow Industrials. Basically, we haven't done a whole lot these last 2 days. Markets were down 32 today and barely up yesterday. And of course, the CBS Evening News will sit there and, wow, we're at all-time highs on the Dow Industrials. And it's not doing much. So really, as I look at this, I'm thinking, okay, possibly we have a little wave 2 here that might have completed. But, and let me get rid of this again. I would like to see a close, kind of like I talked about on the S&P 500, a close above this high to confirm that we have got something going here. Let's take a look at S&P 500, which is what I just talked about, and I mentioned that the other day. It looks just about the same. Very small, very tight action in here. Not really giving us any kind of a sign. Now, one thing I did note earlier today, let me blow this up just a little bit. You notice how we came right down to the 10-day exponential moving average and rallied off back here on November 1st. Did the same thing on November 5th. Broke down through it, rallied back above it, and today came right to the 10-day exponential again, and buying came in. So this is a key line, and I've talked about this, of trying to be on the right side of the 10-day exponential moving average. And so when it starts to close below it, like it did back over in here, that's a sign that it's shifting. Okay, and we don't have that yet, but that's what we're kind of on the alert for. All right, the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq, again, very similar and tight. Remember how we talked this might be a bullish, harami, and hasn't done anything. I want to look at the high-low. Not an extreme, but we've continued to come down. Today we only had, this is a 58. We've only had 58 more new highs than we had new lows. So it's continued. This is the 10-day. It's trending down. It's about below the 20, like it did over here, late July, like it did in May. So again, we're kind of watching to see if we continue to get some deterioration or not. Short-term trading index. I'm looking at again, remember how we had the extreme here on Friday? And then I'm watching this blue line, and the blue line, looking to see if it gets down below this red bar, and it really hasn't. It's at 0.93 today. It's kind of hard to see. So that's not at an extreme yet. One thing I want to take a look at, so that's kind of it on the market as far as I can tell. I wanted to look at Facebook real quick. I think I may have talked about this on Sunday. I'm pretty sure I did. And I kind of adjusted what I think may be going on here with the correction on Facebook. When you look at this, we had this long, extended, complex, what I called a zigzag wave 2 correction. Wave 1, wave 2. And it's a zigzag because you had a 5-wave A, and then a 3-wave B, and then another 5-wave C, okay? So what happens is you should get the opposite. You should get a flat, okay, in this next corrective mode, assuming that I'm right here, that wave 3 is completed, and I think it has. So now, what looks like a flat to me, this is what you call a running flat. You get an A, a B, a C. This should not go below A. Okay, so that's what I'm kind of watching for to see if it stays above A. And this is kind of a very bullish sign when B got this strong and pushed up to the upside. Okay, rather than a lot of times on a regular flat, it doesn't go any higher than the start of A. Okay, so I'm kind of getting in a little bit of this wave structure on you here. But the bottom line is what I'm expecting to happen is, we've got this wave, and I'm expecting this to kind of come up here like this now, and get next, the 5th wave up. And let me see if let me get rid of this because I found out that complicates it. What kind of fifth wave move are we expecting? It gets back to, because wave 3 was somewhat extended, we look at the Fibonacci projection of of 0 through 3, okay, down to the bottom of the fourth wave, and the two targets initially are going to be 58 to 66, okay, so that's going to be kind of the initial range. 58, this doesn't work too great, does it? To 66, and I'm going to say plus, all right? Because I think there's a real good chance it could come up and hit this 100% and make that and extend, because it just doesn't seem, this wasn't a really long extension in here, but it was an extended wave. Okay, let me step back. I want to look at gold as the next thing. Let me rescale that, get that out of there. Let's take a look at GLD is what we're looking at. The gold shares ETF, okay? I think there's a real possibility. I know some people, you can look at this and say, wow, there, you know, we could have a shoulder, head, and a shoulder in here. But honestly, this thing has come down so much that I'm really hesitant to say that. And I think when I look at a weekly, that we could be in the later stages of concluding, this correction. I think we've got a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4. Now, it says 2 here, but that's for these little waves in here. Well, I'll show that in a minute. But I really think this is wave 4. Now, wave 4 in Elliott wave cannot overlap wave 1, okay? So when you look at this, it can't go below that. So we're really talking about, I mean, what was the high in here? 100, okay? So, but what I really need to see is that this is the possibility, because we got some divergence in here. You see this where the indicator did not go to a new low and the price did. So I think we could be trying to get some legs underneath us here in gold, and that if this truly is a bottom, that we've pulled back quite a bit in terms of a correction of that entire wave 3, that this could be wave 1 and we're trying to form wave 2. And when I look at a daily basis, this is where, I'm talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1, and then wave 2, this could be, I thought it might be bottoming here, but it came down a little bit below here, so we could have an A, B, C forming. We just have to watch and wait to see what happens. I'm looking for something. No, I guess we'll just go ahead with that. So anyway, that's the, I know what I was looking at, is the retracement. Let me see how far this has retraced, and that didn't catch it right. Let me pull that back over here. There we go. Okay, so we've retraced little more than 61.8% on this. Actually, it's it's kind of hard to tell, but anyway, be on the lookout for this. Let's look for something to start bottoming. Let's look for to get back above this 10-day, start to get the 10-day moving. That's kind of the my quick assessment of gold. So right now I'm kind of saying let's start looking for the next leg up in gold. Okay, that's about it for now. We will talk to you again on Thursday, and I'll leave you with the theme from Silverado. Have a great Wednesday, everyone, and we'll talk to you on Thursday. It's been Joe for Beyond the Chart.